Я по цели передаю настройку. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Season 4 of the Talking Lead AK Korner, proudly presented by Century Arms.
Do it.
We are live. This is Talking Lead's AK Corner Showdown. Tonight, in the right corner, we have the AR-15, the beast from America, the right arm of the free world. And in the left corner, the Commie Crusader, the AK-47.
What? Welcome in, live audience. This is our first AK Corner live edition. This is the season finale of Talking Lead AK Corner. Thanks for everybody for tuning in and joining us. And what better way to have a season finale than with the good old duke out between the AK-47 and the ever lovable and laughable AR-15. I mean, I'm kidding. I kid.
That's cool, man. I could end this argument in 30 seconds right now, but I'm gonna wait because
You're gonna wait because this is gonna take 2 hours to battle this out.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to file a protest. I think moderator is biased.
Just wait. It gets worse. This is our third year of doing the AK versus AR edition. This is our fifth year of the AK Corner, season 5. We started doing this about 3 years ago, and as I was stating earlier, Nick and Garth were on that very first battle that we had, the AR-15 versus the AK. We also had James Bialzak. Remember James with Factory 47? Drew, were you on that one? Were you on the very first one?
I'm sure I was.
I think you've been a part of all of them too. Brian Keeney with Occam Defense was on that one. And Curtis Hallstrom. You guys know Curtis with VSO Gun Channel. Joined us for that one. And then the next year, we had Paul. We had Ken Allen with Ken Allen Training. Weren't you on? Didn't you do that one, Paul? I thought you did that one.
No, this is the first one.
This is your first AK versus AR, but you've been on a lot of the AK corners this year and previous years. Brian Keeney was on that one. Nick Dooley, who wasn't represented with Garth on that one. Garth, he snowballed you on that one. I mean, what happened?
Well, and I was in a deployed location at that time, but
you even did it. I mean, you even found the time to do it while you were deployed. So,
and I just suck. So sorry.
So this is our season 3, and joining us for season 3, we're going to go around the horn here. I'm just going to let everybody introduce yourself to our live streaming audience, and then of course to the Leadhead Brigade knows most of you guys. So let's start with Drew.
All right. Andrew, I'm with Century Arms. Besides Century Arms, though, I am an AK nerd for life. I got my first AK at 12. Been shooting them most of my life. I have a pretty decent collection of them. Definitely enjoy shooting AKs over ARs. Just for example, I didn't get my first AR until I was in my 30s. But I shoot them in competition. I've shot them in 3-gun. And then, of course, I just like having them. Got a lot of different versions. But yeah, AKs, I'm way better than ARs. I don't even know why we need to do this episode, but it gives, the AR-15 podcast guys something to do.
I will mention this too. Century Arms has made this episode possible, and we greatly thank Drew, and we're going to introduce his new partner down there from Century Arms. I think everybody knows the face, but we're going to let him go last, so we're saving the best for last. Nick, introduce yourself and your crew, Team AR.
So my name is Nick Dooley. I'm the host of the AR-15 podcast. I own an AK, but it's because it's the preferred weapon of our enemies. And if Gunnery Sergeant Highway taught me anything, it was that it makes a distinctive sound when fired. So I needed to learn how to do that.
Heartbreak Ridge.
Correct.
By the way.
And I shoot the AR in competition. I shoot competitively, both civilian side and for the South Dakota Army National Guard. I'm on the competitive marksmanship team and do training on M16s and stuff for my military gig as well as part of my civilian job. So,
and if you ever need voiceover work, he's got the voice for it. So give him a call.
Yes, it's a face for radio and a voice for sign language. And then joined with me tonight, I have my co-host, Garth Hofer.
Yeah, I am the co-host of the AR-15 podcast. I am the least qualified to be here by any means. I am a fifth-generation farmer from the middle of South Dakota, three-gun competitor as well, and are a basic pistol instructor, because you got to have that qualification for God knows what reason. So I'm here to hang out and talk all things AR-15. I got my first AR 15 years ago, been shooting them ever since. I don't know why we talk about the Tommy rifle, but I guess these guys want to waste their breath. They can waste their breath all day long. That's fine.
Hey, what's your local 59 patch you got there?
So I'm a local volunteer firefighter for my community of 600 people here. So our new saying is we serve 1,072 square miles of God's country out here, keeping everyone safe. So yeah, very proud to be a firefighter here.
Welcome in, guys, and you're brave for coming in. The AK Corner representing Team AR. I got to give you, 5 points right off the bat just for that. You're 5 points up going into this.
Like I said, bias.
You're gonna need them.
So let's go to that next voice there, Marco Vorobiev. Marco has been my co-host pretty much this entire season 5. And if you guys are just tuning in, you've not listened to the AK Corner, you want to go because Marco is the definitive source and voice for all things AK, history, mechanics, science, everything. He's the man. And Marco has this awesome book right here that you guys can get on Amazon. And we'll talk more about this as the episode goes on. So Marco, welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
Glad to be back. And of course, I've been preparing ever since you told me that I'm going to be participating in AK versus AR. I was like, do we even have to do this? It's kind of below me skill-wise, that is.
Right.
So, but, I like both. It's like a children in the family. I like the both platforms, but one has to be the red-headed stepchild, and that's AR.
That's the Mini 14.
I agree with that.
Oh, man. Not my mini 14s.
Is the master debater when it comes to this topic. And also, Paul Markel joining us from Student of the Gun has been on many episodes of the Talking Lead AK Corner. And Paul has jumped sides for this episode.
How could you, Paul? How could you?
I was drafted. I was drafted.
You're going to explain why. Yeah.
You want me to explain why?
Well, you're holding it right there. So.
Yeah, well, we launched the Student of the Gun collaboration with Spikes Tactical this year. This is the Lexington and Concord rifle. Is an instrument of liberty. And there is nothing flash on this. There's nothing competition on this. This is designed to be a fighting tool. It's designed to be an instrument of liberty for a citizen. So, if you would like one, you can have one too, just like this.
Paul, real question. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Is it still muzzle loaded?
Yeah. They actually, during the 90s, they made muzzle loading adapters for ARs.
They did. I did not know that.
Oh yes, they did, but you could swap out the upper. Yeah. That was right up there with the crossbow, the AR-15 crossbow.
Did that exist? Is that a real thing?
Yes, Garth.
Yeah.
Garth
wait,
is
you're
going to
talking
go
about
get his.
Yes, the ones where you could pop the top and put the upper on. Yes, I remember those. Yeah. Is that still a thing? Or does that kind of...
I kind of doubt it.
You mean this right here? It absolutely is a thing.
Well,
Right here.
The AR-15 cross is that a dedicated lower?
No.
Yes, it's a dedicated
Yes, it is.
lower for an AR-15 crossbow.
Yes.
That's nuts.
Told you.
That is nuts.
You can't do that with an AK.
Yeah, but it's a hell of a thing when the development of the gun is driven by the Hollywood.
Oh, aren't they all at these days?
Well, I'm not going to get into it
Just
yet because we
saying.
still have one guest to bring
We
in.
Yeah,
do.
we still got to bring.
Save our debate. The debate's started. So, our new guy to the AK corner, not new to the Talking Lead podcast by any means. Ladies and gentlemen, Century Arms, newest, latest, and greatest edition, Chad Enos, ladies and gentlemen, big hand. Yay! Chad.
I'm just here for the AP5s.
Yeah.
Isn't that your new love now, the AP5?
My new what?
Is that your new love?
Oh man, they're so much fun.
It looks like you're having a blast with those.
They're all fun. I'd never fired one until last weekend.
Really, all those times at the range days with it right next to you. And you just
Marty, some of us have to work at range days, and we don't get to run around and shoot all the stuff.
Oh, that's some bullshit. I've seen you guys run around and do stuff. I've seen it. You've done it. Don't lie.
It's good to be
Oh,
here.
wait. That's just Adam that does that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now you got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
Speaking of Adam, he's out in LA right now, walking up and down the boardwalk, like enjoying the West Coast weather.
LA.
Eating good sushi, probably. Thanks,
Probably.
boss.
Hey, I'm Adam with Canik USA, here talking about an exciting new addition to the Canik firearms line, the Canik Mete Pro Series. Each Canik Mete model will now feature a Pro version as well as a standard configuration, meaning you get all the amazing features that come with the Mete line, along with some serious upgrades. These upgrades start with an instantly noticeable feature in the new aggressive slide cuts, which not only look cool, but allow for easier manipulation of the firearm. Next is the chrome-plated, fluted 1/2 by 28 threaded barrel. The Pro Series also features tritium front sights and blacked out rear sights. Finally, the world-famous Canik trigger is now a polymer 90-degree design. The first two available versions of the Pro Series will be the Canik Mete SFX and the Canik Mete SFT. But as I mentioned before, there's much more coming soon. Thanks for watching, and you can find out more about the Pro Series and all Canik products at canicarms.com and canikusa.com. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be informed of all the latest Canik news. And as always, stay safe and stay tuned.
So there's our panel of experts for this grand debate that we're getting ready to have, the AK versus AR. Are we going to settle it this episode? Probably not, but I think we might have a clear maybe winner for the episode by the time it ends. How are we looking on our live? We got live people. Anybody asking questions? Anybody doing anything?
We don't have any questions yet, but we do have people watching live.
Very good.
The only thing I can't see is your Rumble, if there's any comments on that.
Well, I can't pull it up apparently because it causes an echo. So
We can try to pull it up now. I think I fixed that issue.
you think you did?
Yep.
That's what she
Find
said.
out.
Yeah, well, there's one way to find out. And
F around and find out, right?
yes.
Did I
And
do it on the app or do I do it on the website?
either one, whatever you want to do, so you might have access to seeing it.
Okay, well, let's just see. Real quick, if anybody's joining us on Rumble, welcome in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It looks like it's doing something on there. I see us.
We're there.
I see us on
Don't
there.
know if there's any comments coming through or not.
Looks like there's one comment. It probably says your audio sucks. But yeah, we're going. We're going to keep it going there. So, guys, welcome in. Thank everybody for joining us for this. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate our panel for joining us. And as always, with the Talking Lead podcast, you participate, you listen, and you win on this podcast. And for this episode, we're going to have 4 winners. And we've got a special set of magazines, which we don't have them handy just yet. But we do have, if I could share my screen again, hit present, right?
Yep.
And this is all new technology to me here. So thank you to Nick for setting this up and
don't make me sound smart. I'm ham-fisting my way through all this. So.
Oh, that's what she said. All right, so I hit this button right here, and I hit that button right there, and boom. Now, is that up? You see that? All right. So thanks to Century Arms and U.S. Palm for providing the AK magazines and Mission First Tactical for printing these for us. So 2 lucky winners are going to get sets of AK mags, and we don't have the designs completed yet, as you can see on this, but we're working on them. And the one on the left here for the G.I. Joe. So you're going to get Cobra and G.I. Joe magazines. So 30-round AR magazine from Mission First Tactical and a 30-round AK magazine, U.S. Palm from Century Arms. So aren't those cool? That could be a possible design that we do there too.
I like that one.
You like that one better?
Yeah. Yeah.
You going with that? Okay. So that might be the one then, if that's what
the OD one looks good.
Yeah.
And then you like the one on the left for the G.I. Joe. What about the audience out there? They voting on this? Let them vote on it. Which one they like best? You like the red and blue G.I. Joe? I mean, this one's really out of the running, the one on the right.
That's way too fancy.
I think there's only one option there, and that's the old red and blue.
Yeah. And then for the Cobra, we got the olive drab with the Cobra logo or the gray with the red Cobra logo on there. We might throw a little Python Patrol colors in there too. I don't know if you're a big G.I. Joe fan. You know what the Python Patrol is. All right, so 2 lucky participants are going to get that. We'll pick a winner from our live audience, and we'll pick a winner from our Instagram post. So every episode we make a post on Instagram asking for your questions for our episode that we do, and then we pick winners from that. And then we're also going to be giving away a dump tray. Here it is. An AK Corner dump tray from Mission First Tactical that will have the Talking Lead AK Corner logo and the Century Arms logo on there. Pretty cool.
Very nice.
And then one winner will get a Seal 1 complete gun care lube package. It's going to have the paste. It'll have the liquid. It'll have all the pads, all the scrubbers, everything that you need to keep your dirty old ARs clean and running. So there you go.
For the AK listeners, you're gonna get a 50-gallon drum of diesel.
Cosmoline, yeah, because they're gonna Cosmoline that shit up. All right, so let's get into this. Let's start this big debate here. And so our 2 teams, again, for those who just tuning in, we've got Team AR, Team AK. Team AR is Nick, Garth, and Paul. And then Team AK, Drew, Marco, and the newbie Chad. Welcome in, Chad. Did we say welcome in? We're glad you're where you're at these days at Century Arms. So awesome.
There we go. Now we're like Brady Bunch there.
There we go.
Yep, I'm getting everything.
He's trying to Brady Bunch us up here.
All right, so we flipped a coin prior to, and Team AR won the toss. So the first question is going to go to Team AR, and you guys can designate who you want to answer this question. But we're just going to go through, and we're just going to kind of hit some high-level topics. And I think everybody listening probably knows the history of the AR and the AK. And if you don't, you can go back to our prior episodes on the AK Corner, and then you can go to the AR-15 podcast. I'm sure you guys have some great episodes where you talk about the history of the Eugene Stoner M16 AR-15. Yes or no?
We sure do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. We definitely do. We have going all the way back to the history when we actually talked about, they made a comment about it being from Hollywood, or Marco made a comment about Hollywood earlier, and the AR was actually invented in Hollywood. In North Hollywood was where Armalite had their factory and shops.
So not like Hollywood movie, but actual the town of Hollywood.
Yes.
California. Interesting fact. I like that.
In North Hollywood, which is even wilder. That's an interesting place there. So if anyone's never been to North Hollywood, it has a reputation.
You don't want to go there.
Pretty sure AR.
Well, some people do want to go there, Chad.
Yeah.
Those people are called crackheads.
I don't think they had crack in the 50s, did they?
Nope, not in 56.
Back in the 50s, everybody had a crack.
No, Marco, everybody was cracking. That's so
the kind of runs down the spine. They're very, very low.
A lot of plumbers have them. So let's get into the actual rounds. So let's start off with the M16, the AR round. And you guys sell me on your ammo there, the AR-15. Why would I want to use a 5.56 round?
Paul, you want to start?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start. To be fair, we had the AR-15 had a lot of problems in the get-go, and part of that is because the United States Army decided that they were smarter than Gene Stoner and his design team.
But was it the Army or was it the politicians?
Well, the Army, the Pentagon people are politicians. So they screwed up the ammo, but it's been 60 plus years and we've got the ammo right. We've got it right. For those who now we've got kind of a strange situation because you've got the green tip, everybody's M855 green tip, and it has a bad rep for just poking right through our enemies and making a 22 caliber hole and just keeping on going. Well, the reason it came about was because we thought 30, 40 years ago that we were going to be fighting the Ruskies and they wanted to be able to penetrate their armor. But your special forces guys started working with Black Hills Black Hills Ammunition, I believe it was 1999, started developing what became the Mark 262. And so by the time GWAT began, the Mark 262, the 77 grain, we used to call them ballistic or boat tail hollow points. And we can't do that anymore. So we call them OTMs. Yeah, that's funny. There was no OTM until recently, but
open tip match.
Yeah, open tip match. It's not, the hole in the nose is not for wounding. It's for ballistic stability, so the round goes straighter. Whatever floats your boat. Now they are very, very accurate. But they also produce tremendous wound cavities. The 77 grain Mark 262 produced incalculable casualties in Afghanistan and Iraq. And I actually knew a guy who was the head of an Army sniper team, and I've told the story in print several times, but he said every time we'd shoot an insurgent in Iraq, if they were still breathing, they would do they would put them on a gurney and take them to the Army hospital. He said, so we had a guy that we popped with basically their M16A4 plus or A5 or whatever you want to call it, the souped up DM rifle. And he said they grabbed him and he was still breathing, so they put him on a gurney and sent him in. Took him to the Army hospital, and basically they let the doctors practice trauma on him. And the doctor came out afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, he died on the table." He said, "But man," he's talking to the sniper commander. He says, "Man, you can really tell when you guys shoot him versus when the other guys do." And the doctor thought that the patient had been shot with a 7.62 NATO. he was looking at a Mark 262 wound. And the reason he thought that was because what he typically would see from the legs, the infantry guys, is wounds from the green tip. The Mark 262 is probably right now, I would say, as far as the AR is concerned, or 5.56, is the pinnacle. You know, the Marine Corps has their own version. I can't remember the numerology on it, but it's like a 63 grain OTM. But yeah, the Mark 262 has brought the AR-15 up. It has elevated it tremendously. And I tell people all the time, if you're going to use a rifle for a home defense tool, which you should be loading it with the good stuff, with the 77 grain OTM. Yeah.
100%. And Paul, I'm going to say one thing. I'll throw myself up and try and get my camera to focus on this. Now, have you played much with these rounds? So that is M855A1.
A1.
And, yes. Or as they call it, the EPR, Enhanced Performance Round.
Mm-hmm.
So what that round is it started officially, we had to do a bunch of things. What really happened is all of the European countries that we had military posts in said, you cannot use lead ammunition anymore. Germany. And they couldn't use lead-based ammo. So the Army had to come with a lead-free ammunition, or the military in general did. So what these are is still a 62 grain, but that is a solid, I want to say it's tungsten going through on the top where you look like that would be a ballistic tip. Instead of having the steel core penetrator like standard 855 did, that actually just is a chunk of tungsten wrapped in copper to keep the same bullet weight as the 855. And it has a better ballistic coefficient and is devastating on soft tissue.
And do they bury them in nuclear waste fields to get them irradiated so they can use them?
He didn't say depleted uranium.
Tungsten, Marty. Tungsten.
Tungsten, not depleted uranium.
I got a question for Team AR though. We're talking about this open tip match, and I mean I think that stuff's great. And it's awesome for your shooting Stone Age peoples wearing pajamas. What does that OTM do when it comes up against any type of soft or hard body armor?
Okay.
Well, funny thing, 855A1 is the standard.
Well, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the OTM. I know what that's going to do. I know exactly what that's going to do.
Yeah, Team AK will wait for an answer.
What's up with that 77 grain OTM? What happens when it comes up against any type of armor?
I don't know. Probably the same thing that what happens when a 7.62 by 39 ball hits armor.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
All right. I think you guys sufficiently answered that. So now let's go to Team AK.
All right.
And
can
7.62.
I'm just going to add to the AR team here. I actually do have practical experience with both the M80, the green tape, and the new 855 or whatever, A1.
The A1.
Right. So a few years back, about 4 years back, I actually trained Bravo Company, which is a Michigan full-time National Guard unit.
Yep.
And they just swapped to that said round. And their impression of that round was, and we got to shoot, of course, we got to shoot it at the class. And the theme of the class was like, Marco teaches how to shoot full auto. Which I was stunned and almost freaking, my jaw hit the floor and thinking this is active military and they're not versed, they're not introducing the frontline soldiers to full automatic fire. But it's besides the point. Anyway, so their opinion of this round was that was less accurate than the green tip, and to the point where they're kind of like a sort of expressing their disappointment or even dislike for the new ammo. I was going to say that. That's it. It's neither here or there, but that's what
you felt the need, and there you go. So talk about the 7.62 by 3.9. Right. And we're talking the basic rounds now. We all know that there's other calibers, and we'll get into those a little bit later. So
I'm going to start, and then I let my teammates to chime in. Enough said.
What do you do? Tell our listening audience what you're doing. You just held up.
I just held up 223 or 5.56 versus the 7.62 by 39.
Okay.
Now, Paul, I'm going to have to go ahead and mention that all of the, I guess, former Soviet Union manufacturing per Soviet standard, so-called GHOST standard, all the jackets are steel jackets, not a copper. Though it's a mild steel, it would still have a better penetration as if it would be, performing against the copper jacketed rounds.
Okay.
I'll leave it to my teammates. They probably know a lot.
Just speaking on standard military type issue, 7.62 by 39. If you're looking outside of Russia, the Chi-Com, some of the other Asian countries, a lot of that ammo is also pretty standard as steel core. We have our 8.55 in the U.S., which is a steel tip. The steel core 7.62 by 39, which I used to go buy it at gun shows. You used to be able to buy it for $65 a thousand with steel core Chinese copper wash ammo. It's out there. It's a lot. That stuff will crack an engine block. It'll zoom through, not ceramic plates or the newer stuff, but any of the older stuff. It would pretty much clean its clock. So there's a lot of that out there as far as 7.62 by 39 goes. When we're talking about standard military issue rounds, a lot of stuff out there is steel core. But Marco said the bimetal jackets are definitely a lot harder than a steel jacket. It's a little rougher on the barrels, but it also definitely does good work on the back end.
One more argument towards the 7.62 by 39, and again, I'm going to show and tell. So for those of you who's looking,
Dooley, there you go.
Concentrate on that. What does it say? I don't read English.
Hold it in front of the camera so they can see it.
Subsonic, right?
Subsonic, yeah.
I never seen a 223 or 5.56 subsonic.
You guys want to retort? You want to take that one? Team AR?
I just have a question.
I would. Yeah, go ahead, Chad.
I just have a question. How many of us would like to have, or just anybody watching, how many of you would like to have a 7.62 39 upper for your AR lower? Anybody raise your hand? And how many people would like to somehow have a 5.56 upper for their AK? I mean, nobody. So
it'd be great if you could swap uppers on an AK.
Yeah, but
actually, there's a new model now being introduced by Concerned Kalashnikov that has the lower and upper thing, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
It's just not very common to see an AK that's chambered in 5.56 NATO.
It's becoming more. They're out there.
Well,
it's pretty common.
It was common in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s. I remember being in the Marine Corps.
There's a Chinese 5.56 from the 90s.
In 88, and a guy trying to sell a 5.56 AK for $500. Well, Marco, in your book, you talked about they're trying to westernize the AK to get Western sales by chambering it for 5.56.
They did, and so in the 90s when they issued or introduced 100 series AKs, they obviously there was AK-74M in 5.05. Then you got the AK-101 and AK-102, which is slightly shorter, kind of intermediate length. Those two were chambered in 5.56, and I believe they built a plant in Indonesia to make those guns for the Indonesian military in 5.56 caliber. And the idea was because the Soviet Union was kind of it's already disappeared, and the economy was crumbling and stuff. So obviously the large orders from the military non-existent, and so they had to basically survive. And the idea was to create this line of AK rifles that would appeal to newly inducted NATO countries, that that formerly Warsaw Pact countries that like their AKs chambered in 5.56. And it was largely, as far as 5.56, the AKs are concerned, it was largely not very successful, so other than the plant in Indonesia. But other than that, there were no appreciable sales. However, Kalashnikov USA, I think their latest introduction or addition to the product line is in fact the AK-101 in 5.56. And I think that is actually driven by the ammo availability and pricing.
Pioneer has a 5.56 also.
Yeah,
I can
comment
Pioneer
on
has that too, right? Again,
Yeah, I can comment on that a little bit. I worked for RWC and Kalashnikov as well, and so definitely that the 5.56 AKs that came out of Russia were 100% designed for the commercial market. They were trying to tap into the U.S. market to make money, as most of the factories over there were struggling bad. The Chinese did the same thing with the Mac 90s that were imported. If you listen to AK Corner, you definitely heard me talk about Mac 90s. A big fan. But they also did the BWK 92, which was 6 Mac 90, which was designed specifically for the U.S. commercial market as well. So when you look at 5.56 ARs, those were basically designed for commercial market at the end of the day. There were some military interests, like Marco said, in Asia and some other countries that have messed around with 5.56 AKs, but in general, they've never sold well. They don't sell well commercially. As I know, we just discussed Pioneer sells them. Riley has sold them before, I believe. Century Arms has had them before. We'll probably have them again. But that's driven by commercial people asking for them. And currently the drive is because of the shortage of 7.62x39 ammo. But 5.56 AKs are, let's just be honest, they're somewhat of a bastardization made for the commercial market.
Also,
we didn't talk about.
Oh, go ahead, Paul.
The best 5.56 AK in existence is the Galil.
But what about the barrel, Polish barrel?
Now you're opening up a whole nother can of worms there. All right.
The entire NATO country, Poland.
We're moving on, Marco. We're moving on.
Okay.
Moving on. I'm taking control. I'm taking the reins back. So let's talk about reliability. What makes or doesn't make an AK reliable. Same thing, AR. What makes or doesn't make an AR reliable?
I've never seen an AR eat a ham sandwich.
I showed that video.
A fair argument.
Carnot Con, by the way, he's got a great video, the AK versus the AR. It's all comedic, but it's hilarious.
It's one of my favorite factual videos I've ever seen.
100%.
But in all seriousness, there's only two factors that make AK. All right, so I teach a lot of AK classes and like AK fundamentals. We touch on reliability and stuff, and obviously the AK wins in that regard, in that category. But it's not an absolute reliability. There are malfunctions. There's 6 known malfunctions in AK, which is failure to extract, failure to eject, double feed, failure to feed. Majority of those things are related to feeding, basically the magazine and stuff. And however, in AK versus the AR malfunctions, all 6 malfunctions are cleared the same way. You disengage the magazine, you rack it a few times, put a new magazine in, rack it, and you're ready to go. So that's how you clear all the malfunctions in AK. And in AK, it's very simple, and I'm sure AR guys would not argue that point or will agree with me, is one, is the bottle-shaped round. All right, it's coned. All right, it's got 6-degree slant.
The taper.
3 and 3 taper. So when it expands, it's kind of already pushing itself out of the chamber, versus the 1.5 degree slant on the 223 or 556 cartridge, which is essentially cylindrical. That's number one. Number two, once you take the top cover off an AK, and you can remove the recoil spring from it, and you look down, and you can put the ham sandwich in it. And or anything you want to know, ice cream cone or something, and there's enough room for it to actually comfortably rest in there. And if you disengage the magazine, you can see right through it. Okay, which is obviously, if you take the muzzle loading upper off of the AR, everything is precisely in its little pocket. So obviously, for any kind of even the chicken nugget, if it gets in there, probably will not function. But
I have seen one malfunction on an AK that I'm still not sure how they got the beans above the frank, but they had. I have seen a casing that went behind the bolt.
Correct. That's one of the 6 malfunctions. And the funny thing is, it's more prevalent in the 5.5 AK-74s than the 7.62 AKMs. And the funny thing is, though, Nick, that was Nick, right? The voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that AK will still function and still fire with the casing all smacked against the rear trunnion. But, to clear it, you obviously pop the top cover, which is not essential for AK to function anyway. And you just flip it, upside down and shake the sucker out. That's simple as that.
Okay.
But yes, it is one of the 6 malfunctions. Yes.
Okay. Team AK, anything else to add to the reliability?
I will say, field cleaning, dirtiness, nastiness. The AK doesn't have a situation with that. I joke around, but I know it's not proper, but I'll be honest with everyone here. I don't clean any of my AKs. I grease my AKs. My ARs, I have to clean and lubricate them. AKs, they just chug, grease, chug, grease, grease. And I've taken a lot of classes with both guns, and I've definitely can say that cleanliness is not nearly as important on an AK platform rifle than it is on an AR platform.
Yeah, the AR people also very more religious people, because cleanliness next to godliness, I think. Is that how it goes?
Is that what it is? All right,
So
Team AR.
AK people more of like heathens.
You said it.
Funny.
I can get down with that.
Team AR, state your case on reliability.
Who wants it?
So the main thing with the AR, like I've seen ARs go to over 17,000 rounds without lubrication or cleaning. And on a quality AR, they'll run like that because, well, they have the right parts and everything goes well together. And the thing about having reliability when you're running an AR,
58,000, Nick. Never cleaned it once. 58,000.
Also, do you guys see the trend here developing?
AK, Team AK.
When we're talking about AKs, we're talking about the ones that No, I'm just going to add to Nick what Nick was saying.
Okay.
Saying when we talk about AKs, we'll pull them out of the freaking the ditch that we left it in. When we talk about AR's reliability, it's like the most modern and specially built ARs from Daniel Defense or something like that. They're much more reliable. You know what I mean? Not the
now
ones.
Hold on a second. I'm going to jump in here.
Jump in, Paul.
All right. You say, well, you have to buy a Spikes or a Daniel or a Colt or a BCM to get a good one because their ARs are. Let's go ahead and do an honesty check. There were some companies in the United States of America bringing in and manufacturing AKs that were less than reliable, and that rattled quite bad. You can't say, well, every AK that comes from every country is a perfect functioning specimen, and you have to cherry pick the ARs. There was some stink bomb AKs that made their way into this country.
I agree with you, Paul, 100%.
In the 2000s.
The only difference
100%.
100%. You 100% right, Paul. I mean, look at the old Romax and all those Modis and stuff, right? But the thing is, if you draw a line, the whole line for 100% of a guns, you start picking those shitty ones, right? Whereas an AR, you go like this and you start picking the really good ones.
Well,
that's the only
difference. Okay. All right.
Well, that's because there's 5 manufacturers of AKs. I mean, you have the various countries that just get all their random ones, but there's 5,000 manufacturers of ARs.
But are there really, Nick?
Oh, I get it. There's 5 forges, right? Is that what we were going to say?
Well, not really that, but how many people actually make ARs and how many people assemble ARs? There's a difference. And I'm not saying there's a ton of people that make ARs. I'm not saying there's not.
Yeah.
But just so the listeners understand, there's a lot of people out there that ain't making shit.
Yeah, there's a process called white labeling, and we're not gonna go down that.
There used to only be 2 companies in the United States making lower receivers, but
this is a topic I didn't even consider. This is great. I like this.
Yeah, there's
another good.
Well, it's like so in AK.
So how many AK manufacturers are there in the United States?
The United States, 5.
Like,
I mean, that are making large quantities. Yeah.
I mean, again, there's manufacturers and there's the guys that assemble them from the kits.
Right.
Yeah. And when you go through that, the AK, like a milled receiver AK, is crap. You want a stamped receiver, but a milled receiver AR is where it's at. Because we actually, use technology.
So
what happens when that technology ain't around anymore,
man, Nick? You funny man.
So that gets us into
the freaking, milled receiver AKs by many considered to be the greatest AK ever built, which I don't fall into that category, but it's while while the AR designers were not even freaking graduating from middle school, that milled receiver AK was already issued in numbers. You know what I'm saying? But the problem was with the milled receiver AK, the waste pile left after machining the AK out of solid chunk of steel was 15 kilograms. Weighed 15 kilograms versus the 4 kilograms that the gun actually weighed at the end.
So
the waste
for those of
pile
you
was
looking for
so
American
big,
adjustments,
you know what I mean?
that's,
So it was
7 pounds for the AR, and I believe that's like 14 kilograms. Is that like 32 pounds?
Yeah, of waste, 15 kilograms. Once they switched to stamped receivers, right, that pile was reduced from 15 to 7. So
all right, Marco, I'm cutting you off. Mute Marco. This is what I hate, not having controls right here. So Marco's muted right now. So you made your points on the reliability point there. Ease of use. Let's kind of get into ease of use. And before we get into that, I'm going to show this video. Okay, kind of states the point of one of the ease to use. So you guys seeing this?
Hey, no.
So
Planet
ease
of
of
the Apes, man. Planet of the Apes.
So AK-47 wins ease of use. We can move on to the next topic.
Oh no! Let's bring that shit back real quick. Okay, hold your horses. All right. Let's be real. Anyone who's going to teach their kids how to shoot, I get the monkey can yell woo, ooh, booga booga. That's fine. But anyone who's going to take their kids out and learn how to shoot is going to teach them on an AR because it's such an easy platform. The recoil is fantastic. I don't know about this bullshit communist gun you guys are promoting, but in free America, we teach our kids how to shoot on an AR-15 platform.
All right, so just for full disclosure, that was a Hollywood-made video. That wasn't real. So.
I don't believe it. It was on the internet. It's got to be true.
It's got to
Totally
be true.
real.
It's got to be true.
Yeah, 100%.
But you do see kids in these, third world countries that are, lugging around the AKs. They're taller than they are, and they're, lugging around using them.
Well, again, we'll go back to Vince's comment from earlier before we came on, where he said, just remember, the AR-15 can be made to fit children, or the AK was meant to fit children.
Because that must be why I liked it so much as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, it's made for child soldiers and starving conscripts.
Which is the ease of use. It's to the
exactly. We win ease of use. Let's just move on.
AR-15
easy use, lose.
Look at the class of people using the AK versus the AR too. So it
doesn't matter. We're talking about what's easier to use. We all know the AK is easier to use.
I don't know. I have a MS in engineering and MBA.
So I'm going to jump on AR here. So if an AR is lost in battle, it's going to take them longer to figure out how to use it than versus an AK. So it can't be used against you. So
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Can I
shut up, Dooley. I'm
not going to jump on that bandwagon, Marty.
I'm on your side with that one. So
can I add something historical?
I guess.
No, but you're gonna. So let's go for it.
All right. So when they should I? Oh, no.
Go ahead.
You're fucking with
you. Go ahead, man.
So the AK was born out of World War II, right? So in majority of the weapons, including the American weapons, almost all of them, except maybe a grease gun and Tommy gun, were designed for right-hand operation, kind of, right? So the bolt guns, the charging handles and stuff. Same thing with the AK. So it was supposed to mimic the rifles that the troops were coming off of, So that's why it's easy to operate. Now the AR is, God only knows, probably Martians send them some kind of blueprints for that, for T-handle and stuff and all that, all those buttons and stuff on either side. God forbid you press the one and don't press the other. Come on. So that's a
I get it. In Russia, you guys count a potato, but
potato's good. I love potatoes.
Just make vodka with it, right?
Oh no, vodka is made out of rye. If it's made out of potato, it's no longer vodka. I'm muting myself.
Our two buttons that we have on an AR are one, something that an AK severely lacks, and they have tried to produce one that can do this, and it's called a last round bolt hold open.
For what reason? For what purpose? What do you do with it?
Load and shoot faster.
Like how much faster? 0.3 seconds?
Well, it depends on the user, I will say, because anybody who's a good school on both will always be faster reloading an AR than an AK.
By how much?
Is that a factor in opinion?
Adrenaline, gunfight, when? I mean, Nick, I'm just, I teach.
I'm gonna. So you teach with an AK. You're one considered.
No, I mean I teach carbine courses, sniper school. I teach everything.
Yeah, but I'm going to say that a average AR user will reload as fast as an expert AK user. Just because of the mechanics.
Agree to disagree. How is that? Because I mean, you got to consider you're a veteran, right? So you got to consider the situation as whole. I mean, I've seen all those AR carbine courses, and God forbid we get invaded, right? Our civilian corps right here can muster a huge army of SWAT officers, the ones that stand right there, drop a mag, and put another one in while the enemy is like aiming at them and shooting. Because reloading in the gun in the real gunfight situation is different. You make yourself small first before you do anything. And then you start fumbling and remembering where you got the empties and where you got the fools. And then when you got them on the strong side or you got them on the weak side. Am I wrong?
No,
I don't think you're wrong, Marco, but I will say in defense of the AR-15 statement that both guns are hard to reload if you're not accustomed to it.
Well, good point.
So can you load an AR faster than an AK? Somebody can. Can you load an AK faster than an AR-15? Yeah, somebody else can. But at the end of the day, an AR-15 probably seems more common and easier for Nick to load because that's what Nick grew up with. That's what Nick shoots. That's what Nick trains with. I, on the other hand, grew up shooting AKs, trained with AKs, and I can load my AK faster than AR-15. So I think that this loading question is very individual. I don't think there's a broad statement that you can say one for sure will always load faster than the other.
That wasn't even part of my line of question. I don't know where it came up.
Hey, Leadheads, Dwight Settle with Seal One. Just here to talk to you and tell you a little bit about our product. Seal One CLP Plus is a bio-based, non-toxic product. It comes in a paste, liquid, aerosol, and pre-saturated bore-specific patches called sealskins. They all do the same thing, just different methods of application. The best way to use our product is to start with a clean firearm. There's two reasons why I say that. First, you start with the Seal One CLP Plus by field stripping your firearm and covering the entire firearm inside and out, bore, barrel, everything with the Seal One CLP Plus. You'll see how easy it spreads around. You'll want to wait about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you come back and you want to wipe it all off. So you see how easy it is to put on and remove. And the second reason we say to use a clean firearm is you'll find that it's not clean. We're going to pull out more carbon that's been left behind with whatever product you've been using before. Okay, it takes about 3 cleanings. So I like to say a clean shoot, clean shoot, clean shoot. Just normal usage before the Seal One CLP Plus has removed whatever product that you were using before and has seasoned the firearm. It's kind of like breaking in a cast iron skillet. And after that first cleaning, you will notice a difference. And with each successive cleaning, you will find that it gets easier and easier to clean. Seal One CLP Plus is a dry lubricant and is designed to work as such. You will find that malfunctions are virtually eliminated when used properly because the majority of all malfunctions are caused to carbon buildup. And with the Seal One CLP Plus, the carbon does not build up. Seal One CLP Plus is safe on all metals, plastics, composites, polymers, rubber, wood, and leather. Seal One CLP Plus is a one-and-done formulation. No other products are required or needed to clean and lubricate and protect your firearm. That's why we say Seal One and done. Seal One is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for a 25% off discount.
So Chad, down there, looking all bored. Chad, you're with Century now. You jumped over there to Team AK. Have you been getting a lot of trigger time with the AKs now? You learning a lot about AKs? Tell me something you learned that you didn't know.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't own an AK yet.
What?
Yeah. So just for anybody listening, I've only been
a signing bonus.
This is my second week with the company, so yeah, I do have a lot to learn. I love the AK platform. I used to have a Wasser 10 quite a while ago. I didn't really shoot it very much, but I did like it. It had very soft recoil impulse, and that cartridge is, like we talked about at the top of the show, the cartridge is great. Hits really hard, and I guess we're probably going to get into accuracy at some point in this
We're going to effective range, accuracy. Yeah, if I
Okay,
can get to it, we
So
might
can
just
talk
skip
about-
everything else and just let them battle it out here. I don't know.
I can talk about my experience with that when we get to that question. But yeah, I absolutely love the AK platform. It's super iconic. It's very cool, and nowadays it's a great option because you can you can trick them out to accept all modern accessories that you want. There's companies making awesome parts for them. But you can also just leave it classic, the classic wood stock and forend and just
and that used to be an old argument was the modularity. The AR would win that battle every time, but now
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would with the
it wouldn't.
modularity. Yeah, it
because in 1950s, when the Russians were installing night vision scopes on it and other optical items on the AKs, AR wasn't even in existence. That's number one. Number two, here. Tell me what this gun doesn't have that this one has.
Nowadays,
nowadays it's the same thing as we progress through society. I mean, this thing didn't show. I mean, which one? Oh, I can't even tell.
In the early days,
this
the
thing didn't
AR
show up until the
popular.
90s.
You could do more accessories with the AR than you could the AK. It's just a fact because they had the rail on there and they had the rail system, and the AK didn't have the rail system.
But we didn't really get the rail system, Marty. I'll jump in with
until GWAT.
That nowadays,
yeah, thank you.
The AK has just as much modularity as the AR does because everybody started to fit the rail systems to them, the butt stock adapters, and all that. So that's not what I was talking about.
Marty.
In the beginning.
But like I'm saying, when the AK was putting on the accessories on it already, AR wasn't even in the drawing board. Now, when the AR became an item, then in 1990s, with introduction, I think it's A4s, right? The M16 A4s, they start putting on, taking off the top handling, handle and stuff, and then they start switching the handguards from 90s, which is like, we all remember vividly. And then, of course, it basically kicked the AK like freaking back to the 50s in a way.
Right.
But then, the great, and I personally think American manufacturers actually driven the AK modularity forward.
No, absolutely. It's the Americanization of the AK, is what.
Yeah, it's the people like, people like, I'm not going to say TAPCO. I just did it.
TAPCO?
But it's people like Midwest Industries or somebody like that.
That's a better example. Yeah.
So one thing to remember about that was when we first started using optics on ARs, the gooseneck mounts were around back in the 80s. Like when they first started doing some of the original aim points where you did the gooseneck going through. And then Brownells came out with, I have one in the safe. I'm just not going to go dig it out right now. The carry handle mounted optics, because if you go back and do like a Mogadishu clone rifle or a Black Hawk down rifle,
you'll see optic.
Yeah, the Colt optics that were mounted, Colt carry handle optics.
3.5 power, fixed.
Yep, I've got one of those in the safe as well. And I mean, we were running like optics, putting optics on were a thing. And even before that, on some of before they started putting pick rails on, like before the assault weapons ban and everything like that, there were people who would cut the carry. They'd have a gunsmith cut the carry handle off, and they would put a Weaver scope ring mount, just drill it right in to the flat top of the receiver.
Military people would do that?
Civilians.
Civilians.
You might have seen.
Nick,
you might have seen some.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you. I'm following you, and I'm 100% with you. I had one. I had the Colt H bar with that scope and stuff. But in 1985 to 87, when I was in the service, right, and I was issued with AKS 74, and I had the side mount, right, we actually used the PSO1 scopes mounting right on it, which was full power, and it's basically the father of all the modern optics, military optics, that is. Okay, that's 1985 to 87.
Let's move on. We're running out of time here. So let's go to Chad wanted to talk about accuracy. Let's get to the accuracy. And I'm going to remind everybody, once somebody's talking, let them finish talking. Don't interrupt them. So I think it's Team AR's turn. So rely accuracy.
Okay. You want to go first, Paul, or you want me to?
Go.
Accuracy is two things. It's barrel manufacturing and it's ammunition. And in modern guns, well, even in older guns, but the gun is going to be more accurate than the person holding it 9 times out of 10. And I'm not going to jump on the AKs are not accurate thing. The reason people think AKs are not accurate is because they don't shoot them. Brian's guns are crazy. Brian's guns are like sub MOA.
Occam defense, yeah.
Yeah, Occam's guns are like sub MOA AKs. So yeah, the truth of the matter is if you bench an AR and you stabilize it, you should be able to get an inch easy. And with good ammo, you should be able to get sub inch easy at 100 yards. Now it is a lighter bullet. It is a lighter bullet. Now I know that it's going to still be there at 500 yards, but let's face facts. A heavier bullet is going to have more impact at range than a lightweight bullet will. I'll admit that.
Nick,
yeah, I was going to say I will agree with what Paul was saying. A heavier bullet will have more impact. The majority of some of the things that people talk about going back and forth with AKs versus ARs for accuracy, and this is one that like I'm not jumping on Team AK here, but one of the things that I have seen was for accuracy was I have seen enemy combatants who believed that pushing the sight up to 10 made it more powerful. Just because of how that was.
Level of education of the user that you're dealing with.
And this means it has more power. So, they're no concept and like that. It's like, oh, this rifle's just not accurate. Well, no.
That's the thing when you have people that hold it over their head and just do that or whatever. But
yeah.
But
that's when we're stating that. So I routinely shoot 500 meters on a KD range with a handful of different rifles, but pretty much an exact clone of this one I have right here, the old M16A4, and a 20-inch gun like a proper M16 does have one benefit for accuracy, and that is it does have a longer sight radius just because of the length of the barrel. Now on an M4, the sight radius is the same as a standard AK.
1 inch shorter.
Yeah, it's
1 inch shorter.
When you flip them over, they're about the same. On an M16, they are longer, and that can be said to promote accuracy. It is a very, very accurate platform. The people who will say it's not sometimes comes from the stacking tolerance of my least favorite acronym, if you will, in the world, and that is mil spec, because military specification does not mean it's made to the best spec. I'd just like everyone to know that there is an NSN, which is a national stocking number for almost everything, and there is a mil spec for everything.
Here comes his favorite joke ever.
There is an NSN for beer.
Yeah, Budweiser and Coors Light.
I was gonna say it is Coors Light is what you generally find. That is the mil spec beer. So if you want the Coors Light of products, get a mil spec anything. And when you have a
mil spec,
the original
Jack Daniels has an NSN number too. Jack Daniels does.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. That's Tennessee whiskey. I drink bourbon, and
the best Jack Daniels, baby. But, speaking of Jack Daniels, Whiskey River Beef is Whiskey Mash Fed start to finish. Use code WRB 2023, get 10% off Whiskey River Beef. Sponsors of the Talking Lead podcast.
All right, next level. Can I comment on both of those, on Paul and Nick?
I mean, they just
agree
made
with
your point
Paul's.
for you.
I agree with Paul's saying and concept, and that's how I always teach it to the students at every marksmanship class. And that's the in 99.9% the gun without perform the shooter. Meaning the shooter, unless it's a super duper shooter, could never reach the gun's accuracy potential. Okay, unless there's implements, all kinds of stuff involved, and that person knows that gun better than he knows himself in a way. Another point that Nick made was with the 20-inch barrel ARs and stuff. There's no doubt about it. If you're going to compare it to standard AK, like mil spec, standard AK is 16 1/4. So obviously you got the accuracy with the longer barrel. There's no doubt about it. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know I'm not. It's been substantiated by my personal opinion. Right. So anyway, so the AR, the full length 20-inch AR recoils differently than M4. We agree on that one?
Correct.
Yeah.
So
correct.
Also, let's talk about the AKs that we compare, like apples to apples. I'm involved in this conversation all the time, so I have like eights. Like I don't have eights. I have the show and tell aids. So when we talk about modern guns like AKs and the ARs, right? So we have to compare apples to apples. So here's your modern AK, which is 5.45, compared to 5.56, right? So comparing a 5.56 to 7.62 is not fired out of 16 1/4 inch barrel is not exactly the correct comparison, right? Accuracy, that is. I mean, it's correct comparison in the battlefield, but the accuracy wise, it's not. So therefore, I'm gonna finish up my rant with the anecdote that could be confirmed by David Fortier and Mark Krebs, both who were present at the time. So in 2001, few days before the towers were coming down in New York, we found ourselves in Moscow on the way to meet Kalashnikov, actually, in Izhevsk, in the Arsenal City. And I had a friend who was commander of Quick Reaction Force. It's sort of like SRT team, maybe by far more militarized than SWAT for the Moscow region. So we went to their headquarters. They just came back, that particular group who was on duty at the time, just came back from Chechnya, the second campaign. So they did their rotation. And David 40, and so they had all their guns on them. They had the suppressed VSSs and the VSKs, and then they had a bunch of AK-74Ms. And in the conversation, we were over there, they were greeting us and giving us some vodka and stuff and some sliced salami and what have you, whatever. They were not drinking, of course. And David Fortier felt obligated to ask him how accurate the rifles were, right? And one of the guys said that what he did was, when he was bored at the checkpoint, that he was shooting telephone wires over telephone poles with his AK-74M. So is it accurate enough? Like what is it? Not even a 1/4 of an inch cross-section wire at some distance. Let's say it's 30, 40 yards or something like that, or meters. And he'd be hitting those with an open sights. So it really boils down, the accuracy wise, it boils down to I guess a shooter, right? And how much he trains with a particular gun. And if it's AR, maybe, and I'm just saying maybe.
That is Marco with Kalashnikov for our viewing audience. So he's not lying. He's telling the truth. There it is. It's in his book right there.
One of those few things that I'm not lying. But anyway, so I would agree with Nick on the fact that maybe accuracy built into AR, but full length AR now, we're talking 20-incher, probably there's more built-in accuracy in it for average shooter than, let's say, in mil-spec AK.
Hey, Nick and Paul, I got a question for you guys. What is the what's the expected accuracy from, say, the U.S. Army, like for you know, what do you have to qualify with? Like, what's the largest group or
The distance?
Yeah, so
So-
like 100 meters, 4 MOA, 100 meters, 5 MOA. What
do you got to
It's-
do to qualify?
Yeah.
So for the Army, they actually just changed their qualification, and there is a grouping and zero standard, and you have to be able to create a 6 MOA grouping is what the current is. We call it a 4 MOA platform, and we just add 2 for the shooter because it's 2 MOA ammunition with a 2 MOA rifle, because by spec that's all it has to be. So if you're shooting 2 MOA, you know, there's stacking tolerances and all of that.
Sure.
But for the Army, you qualify on pop-up ranges, so it is not like shooting at paper targets to get your group size. You do your 25 meter zero, and then after you do that, you move to the pop-up range, shoot from 4 positions now, and as you do that, you engage targets from 25 meters to 300 meters. I know the Marine Corps still has the 500 meter target, and we still shoot that, and our EIC matches as well, but that's not everyone. Everyone in the Army has to shoot to 300 minimum, and then once you move up to, like, if you're a saw gunner or something like that, running on a machine gun course, not as an individual, like as a automatic rifleman, you'll have to shoot to 800 meters.
Okay. I just thought that'd be a cool data point for people listening or
Well,
watching.
if you want to talk about Marine Corps now, are we done talking about the Army and they're shooting at 6 o'clock so that the rocks will hit the target and they'll fall over?
They fixed that now. We can't do that anymore.
Oh, you can't do that anymore? They put sandbags in front of them? So
No, they changed the system.
In 1987, in the United States Marine Corps, we had M16A2s with iron sights. We were required to shoot out to 500 meters or 500 yards, depending on which range it was. Paris Island was yards, and West Coast was meters. But yeah, the standard at 200, we shot at 200 meters, 200 yards, 300, and 500. The target at 2 and 3 was a 12-inch black bullseye, and the target at a 500 was a black human-sized silhouette. And for those of you looking for a point of reference, the silhouette is as wide as the front sight post on an M16 when you're aiming in from 500 yards or 500 meters. So,
Good question.
I want to say it's 18 inches across and 36 inches tall.
Marco, do you know the requirements for the Russian military? I know you know when you were in, but do you?
Is it a true question? I mean, do I know it?
I mean, that's of course
What
you
is it,
do.
Marco? What is it?
I'm
All
sorry.
right, so
What is
the
it?
basic qualification is
my
actually.
question- Sorry,
I'm
my
sorry.
question was mostly I was trying to find out what the equipment standard was, not necessarily the marksman, but that was all great information. I just wanted to know, like, what do they require out of the M4 platform with their ammo specifically? You know,
It's actually fairly low. So you have 40 rounds, and that's, once you get to actual qualification and where it counts after your grouping and zeroing, your qualification is 40 rounds, and it is 24 out of 40.
Okay, Marco.
On target.
So is there? Do you have a speak to that, if you will.
All right, so basic qualification for a rifle, which, by the way, every 16-year-old punk in the Soviet Union and Russia actually, by the time he graduates from high school, actually fired a machine gun. And that's it. Is basically he or she, even the girls were not mandatory, but they went anyway, because girls like to shoot just as much as the guys do. But anyway, so the students had to perform the basic training rifle qualification with an AKM rifle, and it actually then later drifted into the AK-74. It's the same. So it's 100-meter, 3 shots, semi-automatics, single shots, and you're supposed to score. It's one of those green, really squarish kind of silhouettes. I don't know if you guys seen it. I have.
You call it the Ivan?
What's that?
You call it the Ivan?
I don't.
No, that's what we call ours.
Oh, okay. No, we call it unidentified enemy. So anyway, so it has basically, it's a green silhouette laid over the regular bullseye and all that 10, 9, 8 and circles. So you're supposed to hit as close as possible to, obviously, to a 30. Maximum score is 30. Yours truly scored 10, 8, 9 and 27. And that was like A+. Then you move on to a full auto range where you have a silhouettes of 2 types: the full standing silhouette, and then the machine gun nest that would have 2 half silhouettes, one taller than the other. Number 1 and number 2 machine gun nest, and they ranged from 200 to a 450-meter increments, and they checkered stacked, imitating the frontal assault, like infantry assault. And so they give you 6 rounds, and you're supposed to produce 3 short bursts, 6 rounds on the count 22. Like 20, you depress the trigger, 2 you release, and 2 rounds should go off. And of course, the greenhorns sometimes put all 6 right, maybe 3 feet in front of them with the eyes closed, and so on and so on. But some people who's done it before, who actually went through a beginner's military preparation course in high school, so they're a little bit more disciplined. So your goal is to knock down 3 targets, and it's up to you at which distance, right? Unless you've been trained for something, and then the CEO or the sergeant in charge would tell you which target to hit. So that's your basic qualification for AK. So 3 single shots at the 100 meters, as close as possible to the bullseye, and as tight group as you are capable of.
Now,
and then you get 3 bursts and 3 targets knocked down at the full auto. That's your basic qualification.
Okay, so is there an actual accuracy standard for the platform itself? Like when you zero?
Yes, it's 4 MI.
4 MI, okay. So we're tied up there.
Right. Yep. Almost all guns were like again, I served in a slightly different type of unit, which was kind of handpicked and selected, and most of those guys were like, more disciplined than, like, let's say a truck driver or even the infantry guy. Although infantry was also grilled on the marksmanship, but nevertheless, most of our guys qualified, no problem.
So let's move on. Good question, Chad. I like that. That's a good addition. Some of the comments here that we're getting from, I guess this is YouTube or all over the place. Jock Itch says, "Wow, Paul looks younger than he sounds on Student of the Gun." Did you dye your beard or something? What?
No, my beard's freaking mostly white now.
Paul is a workout machine. He is in the gym 24 days,
Wyoming living,
4 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I'm going to have to agree with this dude right here. Every time I see you, you look better. Today,
Thank you.
You even have a rosy cheeks, I'm thinking. Or maybe it's just my screen.
Because you picked the
because
winning side.
we're not using Skype. That's why.
You can thank my wife for the rosy cheeks.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to stop by at my makeup trailer, but
Jim Rawl says, honestly, and I'm going to just release the hounds on this. You guys can answer this yourself. Does an AR and 300 blackout take care of everything an AK would do?
No.
oh my
No,
God.
no.
Hopefully he's not serious for that question.
No.
All I can say is Jim Rawls gets no prizes.
I know it was a trick question. It was just a. Yeah,
I think
it wasn't a good question.
He was fishing for that.
The reaction he got. Yep.
Yeah. But that does bring us to the other category. So when we get into.
Wait, hold on. You got to read Tun's comment.
Which one? The Etsy one? The Etsy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll read
Modern
it.
AR builders are akin to the bored housewife with a Cricut sticker machine and an Etsy account. There's one on almost every block setting up in a garage and putting different lipstick on the same pig.
So far, that's the winner.
That's
the winner so far. I'm Tom Jones.
Yeah, he is not wrong. He is not wrong.
Nope.
But we do have more questions. So let's get through these, and then we're going to get to our listener questions. So, where was I going with this?
What's the next topic?
That's what I was getting on.
Questions.
Yeah, we're all the different calibers. So we all know, the AR's got 5,000 different calibers that you can build them in and get them in. The AR, they're starting to modern Americanize it, not modern. I'll say Americanize it. And we're starting to see more and more calibers in the AK, but just natural progression with the AK, Marco 7.62. Then they went to the 5.45, which you were talking about a little bit earlier, and then they're getting more, that round there, more comparable to the 5.56.
Again, you're doing it.
More. I didn't say it was comparable. I said it was more than the 7.62 versus the 5.45. I mean the 5.56. So the 300 blackout. I mean, Jim brings up a good, example. So there's 300 blackout. There's infinite amount of AR rounds.
6.5 Randall, 243, 6.8 something. I mean, just about anything.
You do 22.
I have to concede on this one to our esteemed colleagues from AR team is that there's no doubt about it. Swapping between one feature that AR has that AK will never have is swapping different uppers easily. And let's say make it especially in hunting communities and stuff, it's great. So you can put on your 300 blackout if you're hunting pigs. Then if you taken your rifle to a long range, maybe a medium-sized game, you put a 20-inch 5.56 upper and so on. So the AK's been, other than some perverts sitting in their machine shops and doing some weird stuff, it's 4 basic calibers. So you got the original 7.62, then you got the 4.45, and then you got 5.56, and then you got a Grendel, actually Mullet, 6.5 Grendel. Actually Mullet Arms imported some Vepr rifles that were in the
got the 22
6.5 Grendel. Oh, the 22. Yes, 22 is correct.
The trainers.
And 9mm.
Don't forget about the Yugoslavians.
I'm done over here. I'm gonna go home now.
And the Chinese with their 5.
Yeah, the Chinese. Yeah, and the Yugoslavians with the 308s.
Yeah, but I mean, like prevalent in the marketplace. I mean, you can walk into Cabela's like Garth over there holding something. What are you holding?
I'm just holding my regular Ruger platform AR that I can turn this from a 22. Oh, I'll tell you about the trigger.
It's like a water gun.
It's a paintball trigger. It's great.
Oh.
I can turn this from a 22 all the way up to a 300 blackout on just this platform alone.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about the AR-10 platform. That you can go all the way up. So the AR platform has so many versatile rounds that you can put through one single gun.
Very true. However, I'm going to finish up with this statement. And Marty, you've heard this before.
I love it.
When we're talking about like a real life experience, not hunting, not punching the holes in the paper at the local range or taking classes, but I'm talking about a true fighting gun per se, like a firearm. There's no better cartridge in the world that was designed by human beings that exists today that is better than 545 by 39. That's the best fighting carbine cartridge there is in existence. Okay, and fired out of 16.25-inch barrel. So it's got the length, it's got the power, it's got penetration and everything else, and the weight and the low impulse. And I always say to every class that I have, and I'm usually make a full auto gun, like machine gun, available to them. If you have, let's say you are ready to go to a funeral, you're dressed up, or to a wedding, or to court appearance and stuff, screw all that. If you have a chance to fire RPK-74 or even AK-74, take that and reschedule your other things. Okay, so it's like firing 22. All right, with extreme accuracy and potency. So therefore, you can probably say
virile, vigorous, and potent. He said.
Marco's not wrong. The reason what Marco just said is the reason that they made up a bullcrap excuse to not allow us to import really cheap 545 anymore. That's why our government made up they basically lied and made up an excuse to keep us from getting that good ammo, because it's good.
On that note, so to be known to all, one container, 1.5 million rounds, today cleared through customs in Savannah.
I've been waiting for that.
545 just been injected into our,
Yeah, but is a layman going to be able to get that injection?
And there's more coming too.
Yeah, every day, every month there will be a container.
That's just from Tela, but there's other companies that are bringing in quite a bit as well.
There you go. But I'm just saying what happened with Tela. So yesterday it cleared to customs. I think today they putting it in the trucks and delivering it to Florida.
Yes. Manufacturing is alive and well in Woodstock, Georgia, where some of the most innovative firearms solutions are created. From whiteboard to final assembly, Mean Arms designs, prototypes, and builds problem-solving products in the United States of America. Products like the Endomag, made from specially formulated proprietary polymers. The Endomag converts a 5.56 magazine to 9mm. Or the first of its kind, Mean Arms bearing delay upper receiver system that's a safer approach than conventional 9mm blowback alternatives. It's this innovative spirit that makes Mean Arms a trusted provider for the most unique firearm solutions. So, if you're looking for the most innovative domestically produced firearms products in the market, you're looking at it. To learn more, visit meanarms.com today.
Very good. All right.
Now,
Let's
one thing about ammunition that was brought up. We talked about a little bit on the modularity, and Paul mentioned trainers. I'll say this is one definite thing the AR has over the AK, and so I'm not saying this because it's my daughter built her first rifle and built an AR, and when we go shoot it, it's a 223, but I have the conversion kit for 22, and she loans her own mags and runs through that because, teaching her at 25 yards and doing the basics, it's cheaper than 5.56. and you can use that 22 long rifle trainer in your standard AR that's a 5.56.
Granted. No. But however, here you're probably gonna make me get up and crack my joints and stuff, going upstairs and getting the Pioneer Arms AK and 22.
22. Yeah.
Yeah, which is exactly the same. It's built on the AKM.
Yeah, the Romanians make
AKM.
one. The Romanians make one. They also make a conversion where you can take your standard 760 by 39 and convert it to shoot 22 as well. They're not honestly, being straight up, they're not as reliable as say some of the dedicated 22 uppers from the ARs, but the AR conversions to 22, they're about the same. A dedicated 22 upper is obviously a different animal than converting a standard 5.56 to shoot 22, but the AK has those. They're available. You can buy them right now. You can go online and order them. So while the AR ones are more plentiful and they are definitely cheaper, just like the AR-15 is much cheaper than an AK-47 in the U.S. market.
That was a weird swap to see.
That was going to be my next point. So
well, let's do it.
Well, no, I mean, that's just, it's, again, I was going back to like the modularity thing was a thing of the past. It's an argument of the past. The cost production is an argument of thing of the past because it has switched and it's flopped. The AKs are a lot more expensive than the ARs are nowadays.
They're not more expensive than any AR I have.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but again, it's like anything. It's like anything. You can get, can get this price point or you can get this price point. But the cheap AR, cheap AK, the ARs are cheaper nowadays.
The proper, I guess, proper way to say it would be anyone with the pin drivers and things like that can assemble AR in their garage on their knee, so to speak. I mean, I've done it. Probably all of you gentlemen did. Without a freaking press and the jigs and stuff, you cannot assemble AK in your
Marco,
garage.
whose team are you on? Whose team are you on?
No. I'm just saying.
That's point AR right there.
No. The thing is, however, if you're talking about industrial way, where you putting out, thousands of rifles, obviously you can produce the ARs nowadays without 6-axle CNC machine, and all you need is again press to bend your receiver for AR. So I mean for AK, I'm sorry. So you know what I mean. So it's kind of like you got to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, and that's all I have to say about that.
That's all he's got to say.
Are you sure?
I have spoken.
This is the way.
It is. The PSL is the way.
It is so.
All right, we're going to move on. So
wait. Speaking of price, real quick, Paul, what's the MSRP on that?
It's just under 11. It's like, I think it's like $10.95. But if you use the promo code SOTG, you get 10% off.
Nice.
There you go. 10%.
And
that's what
they've been built right now.
Quality AR should cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. These are available right now. Just go to their website, order them. And Marco, real quick, the gas impulse from the 20-inch to the 14-inch guns. The 14-inch guns, the short gas system sucks on ARs. That's why this is a mid-length system.
Yeah. So is this.
Yep.
All mine
and
are.
I call it a plinker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to this will be our last line of AR versus whatever. Then we're going to get our questions here and comments. What is, and this goes to Team AK. I think you are next in line. What is your favorite movie featuring your favorite rifle, or TV show? It could be a TV show. What is your favorite, Andrew?
I mean, we don't even need to say this out loud.
Yeah. We know yours. We know it. Go ahead.
If you don't know it, then you just don't know me. That's all there is to it.
I know what it is. Red Dawn. The
Wolverines, baby. Wolverines.
There you go. Wolverines.
Wait, in that movie, that Calumet High School, where was it taking place?
Colorado.
Because we have right here in the Western Michigan, we have Calumet High School. So I was wearing that T-shirt, right, from Factory 47.
Yeah.
And the dude goes in the store at the checkout. He goes, "Oh, that's cool that you guys still do that. You know, the T-shirts from Class 84, whatever." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes,
Yeah,
"Well,
you can
Calumet
get-
High School. I went to that to Calumet. Our class doesn't do it." I said, "This is, the Hollywood. This is the movie."
Yeah.
And then he took a step back. He goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay."
Is that somebody that you can't have a conversation with if they don't know that factual movie information right there?
We
So
got to
you
get
just-
C. Thomas Howell on the show, Marty.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that.
Work on that. See, Thomas Howell's been in Nashville. He's got a band now or something. He's playing music. And Andrew and I went to watch him, and we both wore our Calumet High School Factory 47 T-shirts to that. And we didn't really have a lot of comments on it. I don't think a lot of people got it.
Charlie Sheen was there too. It wasn't just C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah, Sheen was there, and Daryl.
Daryl.
Whatever that guy's name is.
I never can remember.
Daryl, you went and told him. You went and told him, Daryl. Look, there's Morgan Mills.
Morgan,
That's my wife, everybody.
Hey, but can we make the announcement or not? Can we say it?
What announcement?
The announcement that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think she just did.
Oh, he wants to name our child. Oh, they're Jeb or Red Dawn. But that doesn't. They don't know that she's with child now. That could be like.
We're having a baby. Yeah, we're having a baby.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, guys.
Congrats, man.
He will definitely be an AK kid, just so y'all know. He will
say.
definitely be an AK shooter.
Another AK. Another one.
Go
for
ahead.
AK.
Go ahead and order his shirts.
Oh man, he'll be rocking a Draco by the time he's 8.
Yeah.
Yes. Not
Marco,
a 22. Not with a 22 kit on it or anything. The actual 7.62
I never had a damn 22 kit ever in my life.
Margot, your favorite movie with featuring the AK?
Well, I'll be biased, of course, so it's going to be Company 9.
Okay. Company 9. And tell everybody who's not familiar with that, because nobody's heard of that. Besides
Well,
me and
actually, it's a movie came out a few years back. It's a Russian movie. It depicts a well-known episode in the Soviet-Afghan campaign, where a company-sized unit, the airborne unit, was sent to settle over the hill, and provided protection for the passing convoys on the nearby highway. And that operation was designed to relieve the garrison, otherwise sieged garrison in Host, whatever, in the west of Afghanistan. And there was a 345th separate airborne regiment that actually participated in this stuff. And that's, although the movie is all like feudalistic and stuff, everybody kind of dies except one guy or something like this. In fact, there was only 9 casualties in that unit, and 2 of them were not even in the on that hill. And basically, it culminates with the major battle and stuff. When they finally beat the Mooch back, they counted over 300 dead bodies on the slopes of that hill, whereas the Soviet unit suffered like 7 casualties on the top out of the platoon-sized unit.
Very good. So the name of
that film
U.S.
sanctioned?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. It's not easy with me anymore, as I get older. But Ninth Company.
There you go.
You
All
can
right.
get it on YouTube's on.
You can find it everywhere. Just Google it. All right, Chad, what's yours?
Oh, Red Dawn, no question.
Okay, without a doubt, favorite, everything, movie, TV. That's it. Good deal. All right, AR-15. Team AR-15. What's your favorite movie, TV show featuring the
Garth,
M16
you go first.
AR-15?
It's Heat. They're all going to say Heat.
No, I'm going to say the John Wick franchise, man.
Oh,
Good pull. Good pull.
there you go.
What, no
Paul?
Renaissance man on the AR team, like a Platoon, for example?
That's mine. Platoon's mine.
Well, I was gonna say between Heat and Platoon, Sergeant Elias running through the jungle with his XM177. But no, the heat is still alive. That as old as it is, I just saw an article where somebody referenced it the other day, like a couple days ago.
Heat? Well, yeah, I did too. I saw that too.
They referenced how they ran the guns.
I think you sent it to me.
They still use like the scenes from that movie to help teach like buddy team movements and movement under fire because they did it so well.
It was a great movie.
It's a solid film.
Why don't they just get the guy who taught it to him, and then that way it would be real instead of watching a movie. Yeah. What's yours, Nick?
Well, like I would go with a comedic pick or something like that, but actually Thomas had the best one because it is something that as someone who served in the military, a movie that brought forth like so many bad puns from everyone everywhere.
Navy SEALs.
With this my safety.
Oh, dude, I want to change my answer. I'm going to change my answer.
Okay.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, Tropic Thunder.
Me too. I'm changing my answer. Tropic Thunders. Same.
I'm sticking with Red Dawn, but I do love Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
No, I got to go.
No.
Red Dawn.
It features both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Thomas
I'm
Leach
surprised
says
that
Black Hawk Down. That's a good one. Black Hawk Down.
Black
So
Hawk Down
this
is
is my
good.
safety.
Both. That's got ARs and AKs in it.
Well, I'm waiting for the Kyle Rittenhouse movie, and then I'll go with that.
Coward.
Oh, God.
Did you see the books out?
No.
Rittenhouse. Yeah. It's a Kindle book. I think they're like waiting for the paperback, but the
Nice.
Kindle book is dropped. Yeah. And so
Did he write
the
it?
main
Oh, We Were
He
Soldiers.
had
It's a good entry.
We Were Soldiers, another good one.
What's
And
up?
the
yeah,
scene
that's
where
solid.
they're
That's a great movie.
picking up the ammo and the magazine, so for the fallen guys,
Yeah.
I like Lone Survivor. That's another good pull.
But
Although
there's
I
not
will
too
say
much ARs
that,
in there, right? There's something like scoped rifles and whatnot.
There's ARs and AKs in that, and RPGs. Speaking of RPGs,
there is one thing I'm surprised no one on the AK side mentioned, and that was the Nick Cage vessel from Lord of War, where they talk about rifle automat.
Man, that shit hits too close to home. We don't talk about that shit, Nick.
But what about the Samuel L. Jackson?
I don't talk about that shit.
No Samuel L. Jackson quote. That would solve the issue between AR and AK. But when you have to waste every MFer in the room,
Honestly, Marco,
there's no substitution.
There's no competition. We just let the AR-15 guys come on once a year, just make them feel better. Nick's a funny guy. Garth's
really?
looking. Garth's looking. Nick's a good guy. So we love to have him once a year.
Oh, no. All right, let me ask you then. Let me ask you this question. Some MFer is in your house. You've got one gun to grab. What are you going to grab?
Me? A 12-gauge shotgun.
Oh, my gosh.
Right next to my bed.
Well, you should use a rifle for home defense.
Absolutely. You should be using a
I mean,
rifle.
we could get into AR shotguns and AK shotguns.
But can you imagine the intruder's mind? Can you imagine the
This is what Marco
intruder's
uses for home defense.
Yeah, look what Marco's using.
Can you
Zoom
imagine
in.
if he'll be staring into the tip of the carrot sticking out of here?
Zoom in on Marco.
That's to kill the T-Rex in your neighbor's house a block away.
Damn
I don't know about T-Rex, but that freaking dog is annoying, constantly barking. I'm thinking like doing like a spec up with the suppressed AK.
I love it. All right, let's go to listener questions now. And again, remind them, Andrew, what our giveaways are today.
We got some mag packs, 30-round U.S. Palm mag with the Cobra logo, and a MFT 30-round AR mag with the G.I. Joe logo. Those are going out to listeners. We got MFT dump tray with the Talking Lead AK Corner logo, similar to what's on this mag, and a Century Arms logo on it. And then we got a Seal 1 cleaning pack for some of those AR guys.
I love it. All right. So going through the comments here, I'm just going to sort them by newest first. Tongue for twisting. Anyone whom says AR knows deep down inside they would cheat with an AK. Ha ha.
Max.
Ton Jones, AK exclamation point. AR is great for punching holes and wounding, but for making proper meat jelly, I will always stick with the AK. Ton's just full of them tonight, isn't he?
Always is.
Glautru, AK, simplicity and 7.62x39 is more fun. Is a more fun caliber to shoot. ARs chambered in 7.62x39 are disgusting, and yes, that includes the CMMG. There you go. AK all the way, baby. This is B. Hurst, and I think B. Hurst is on here. Yeah, he's on the live too. So, welcome in, B. Hurst. It's Brandon Hurst. AK all the way, baby. Reliability through the roof. 30 cal versus 22. If she can't shoot still, she doesn't deserve brass. Penetration versus not a lot. Let's go Team AK, and you can bullpup an AK easily. Don't think that's an AR thing. I think he threw that in there for you, Marco.
I think you threw it in there for me.
Marco just threw up in his mouth a little bit. It's okay.
Marco hates bullpups.
Andrew hates bullpups too. Let me go on record.
All I gotta say is that you
I
guys
feel
just
attacked.
do whatever that you do with your bullpup and then do it prone.
Chad's a little torn right now.
I mean, if you like shitty triggers, you like shitty triggers. There's no way around it.
None of my bullpups have bad triggers at all. But
Esom 87. Niet, rifle is fine. Team Kalashnikov. Pillow pants. In theory, would you run a subsonic 7.62x39 AK build or a 300 blackout AR build? I asked because I just put together 11.5-inch build with the Sure Shot slim chassis, rifle dynamics, 11.5 barrel, Occam defense, adjustable front sight gas block, and it's probably the best AK I've been behind thus far. Would be nice to hear what the AR guys and AK guys have to say about 7.62x39 round stacked up against the 300 blackout. On paper, they seem very close. Anybody want to quickly address that?
7.62 is just simply fires longer, delivers harder compared to 300 blackout. And of course, if you want an ultimate round, that's this one right here. 9x39.
9x39.
Just because I'm a dick.
Pacific Northwesterner. AK.
Marco must have gotten all that entire container of that 9x39 that came in the United States that one time.
He knows a person.
Okay. Never mind. Go ahead, Marty.
Did anybody else have anything about the 300 blackout? You want to say anything else? No?
No.
Nick?
6.62x39. Next question.
Pacific Northwesterner. AK because it has soul. But I have a question. What past or present AR AK hybrid? I'm not even going to read the rest of it.
Yes.
John Adams III. Got to go with a Team AK. My ODS, Occam Defense Solutions, is my go-to gun. It's simple, rugged, and uses a round that's legal to hunt deer in every state. 223 is a prairie dog caliber. Nikolai Ablanap. Since you guys give your rifle a female name, let's look at it from the perspective of choosing a woman. Even President Trump chose a Yugo. Team AK! Exclamation point. It's a fair point.
That's a solid one.
Oh, here's a question. Do you guys name your guns? If you were going to name your AK or your AR female name, what would you name it? If you had to, if somebody had a gun up to your head right now, said, "I want you to
Charlene."
Okay. Charlene. Nick, y'all go through and answer.
I used to make jokes that my rifle was named Katrina, and then like 2 years later, Hurricane Katrina hit. I was like, see, it's devastating.
Garth.
No, Katrina. I don't know. I've never even thought about it, honestly.
Man, I don't name guns. Guns
Garth,
are guns.
name a gun right now. Name a gun.
Jolene.
All right. Andrew, name a gun.
Maria.
Not Morgan? Come on, son.
Oh, man. It's like I call my gun my wife.
You dug
insane. It's like you're not married, Marty.
That's why I have a lot of guns. Marco.
I'm a firearm professional. I don't do that kind of shit.
Name it. Name a gun
Nope.
quickly.
Nope.
You're gonna get shot. They're gonna shoot
Okay,
your.
I guess.
You're gonna shoot your wife. Name a gun.
You want to know how we keep warm in Russia? I can guess. We play chess. I guessed wrong.
Chad.
Name a gun. How about Beavis? Every time it jams, I can be like, "Damn it, Beavis!"
I like it. I like it.
I approve.
Corey Brown. Team AR because I am a capitalist and not a communist. LOL. You can literally have whatever you want in the AR platform. Then there's the AK guys saying the catchy phrase, "Niet, rifle is fine," all because the communist thumb of oppression doesn't allow the people to have a free market. In reality, I don't care what gun you have as long as you have one.
I mean, this
But
guy
you can always get a Century Arms
dude.
all American AK.
The Russia hasn't been communist for like over 30 years. Right?
They're socialist.
No,
All
I
right.
guess it's just
People
remember.
now.
Lights out, Okie Coyotes. Given the AK design, is it better suited for crappy conditions in combat? It's loose, runs with or without lube, isn't really finicky. Having asked that, I'm an AR guy, but dang, I want an AK.
I
Good
know
time to
that
get
you
an
can get
AK.
some Polish AKs.
CenturyArms.com. Go check it out.
Yeah, we got all kinds of them.
I knew I was outnumbered.
But if you want to pioneer, feel free. They make a good rifle as well.
FPS Murdoch. Team AK AR owners are always like 60% of the time. My rifle works every time. LOL. Draco
50% of the time, every time.
Draco Mayne Mike. AK. Gerald Link. The AK platform is better due to the fact there is more tolerance to the parts. Therefore, it is easier to operate in most extreme conditions, unlike the AR, which is very picky in all aspects of operating areas. I have seen the problems firsthand with jamming and double feeding, even in range or training area events. So they do have looser tolerances, but that's by design, right, Marco?
Well, like I said, it's reference the ham sandwich discussion. I mean, all you take is top cover and look inside. Everything is spaced out. Like, I guess.
I wish
Nick,
I
you
had
were
that
mentioning-
video handy. Somebody pull that video up. Let's watch it. That's
Nick
awesome.
was mentioning the casing going back behind, and it would jam smash that casing flat almost, and then continue to fire. So there's plenty of room spaced out. I mean, you're talking with in my reference to my visit with Kalashnikov with Mikhail, when he was saying with his he had that distinct voice like it was like the rifle has to dance, it's supposed to dance. Meaning like
I've never heard him talk.
Oh, you never heard him talk?
No. Is this the meat sandwich?
There's a lot of videos, but this is definitely a good one.
Yeah. So this is the Carnicon we were talking about earlier, and you can still find them on YouTube.
That's our buddy Dugan Ashley.
These are gold. Is it
I
Dugan
mean-
Ashley or Ashley Dugan?
Dugan Ashley.
Is he still doing the videos or no?
No,
He's done.
he stopped years ago. Yeah,
It's too bad. I really enjoyed it.
me too.
Oh, those are the best. His were the best.
Yeah, this one and his 9mm versus 45 are his best two videos, I think.
I think his sniper video is the best one ever.
That's a good one too. We got 7.62 by 39. Wins every time.
Every time.
Okay. He's putting dirt in the air. What's this? He just throws the AR away. Here's the sandwich. AK-47 steak.
I think he just filled with ice cream.
Potato salad or ice cream. Now what? He's going to put more in there.
Oh yeah.
There's peanut butter. You got peanut butter in there. That's just like lube. Here's the sandwich. Gold.
Now I'm just hungry.
Gold.
Yeah, I haven't had supper yet, so I'm hungry now.
Whiskey River Beef, farm to table with a twist. Come along with us on a quest towards achieving self-sufficiency in food production and fostering a robust local food source to promote good health. Stock up with premium Tennessee beef, unparalleled in flavor and tenderness. You can be confident that you're receiving beef with no added growth hormones or implants. Always pasture raised, locally USDA processed, and shipped straight to your home. Whiskey River Beef is grass and whiskey mash fed and finished, and is at least 14 days dry aged to enhance the tenderness and give you the most robust flavor imaginable. Go to whiskeyriverbeef.com today to order. Visit us on Instagram at Whiskey River Life and on Facebook at Whiskey River Beef LLC. Whiskey River Beef is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
AK
right,
wins.
Keep that playing. I'm going to read these. So Ernie Roach 21, definitely Team AK. And for me, it's pretty simple. Why? Most of the guys I shoot with have ARs, and some are damn nice. So I have a good variety to pick from. If you put my basic M70 on the table next to literally any of my friends' ARs and a stack of both 5.56 and 7.62 and told me to have at it, I'm shooting every gun and all the ammo, but that 7.62 would be gone first before he touches any of the other stuff. Goes on, building an AR, huge selection. I was never going to own an AR before my first AK. So there you go.
Are there any questions or no?
Well, I think a lot of them is just they're all kind of peppered in here. I got a question. It'll come back to me. I'm typically an AK guy. Flood munitions. I'm typically an AK guy, but I'm going to argue AR this round because I'm different. He's just being stubborn. And for those who don't know, Flood Munitions, that's Evan Floodman. He does our social media and our pictures and videos when we're at the shows. And he has been nominated for a Gundy's Award, just like Paul has, and Paul's left the building.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to vote for him.
You guys go to the Gundy's and vote for Paul, Student of the Gun. He's in 2 categories, and Evan, who's Best Picture, I think Best Picture of the Year. So go and vote for Evan.
Not after that comment.
Huh?
I said not after that comment.
After that comment. Go Kalashnikov, the Spartan Ranger, Mustang Perry, Tim AK. To shake it up a bit, I want to hear each team argue against their chosen firearms. I think you've kind of done that a little bit. Everybody's kind of flip-flopped, except Nick and Garth. They've stayed true to Team AR.
Oh, I've made comments about them being solid.
That's true.
I will say somebody made a question earlier, and they were talking about a hybrid. And we have been very happy with one hybrid that we were testing out. And then actually Garth liked it so much he bought one, like with his own monies. The Jackal, which is a long stroke piston.
It's right here.
So if you pop it open,
a PSA?
Yep, that's a PSA, and it is a long stroke piston AR. So it has all of the controls of an AR, but it has the long stroke piston operating system of the AK, and shoots like a dream. Like those things are actually pretty rad.
It's not too shabby.
Yeah, I've seen them. I was always curious as to how those things ran.
But is it as cool as a Chinese spiker? It's just not. It's just not.
Don't make Marco go to his safe.
Is that one of these?
Andrew, the last thing I saw with the Chinese spike on it was a single shot or SKS.
Probably made in Russia.
Hey, now some of those SKSs, like the old Tula hex receivers and stuff like that, were actually really cool.
Oh man, I've got some Chinese SKSs that'll blow your mind. They shoot real good. Some of them were great, some of them were shit.
The truth is that SKS is like a freaking Swiss car or something. I mean, Swiss watch. Swiss don't make any cars, I guess. But it's like a Zinger sewing machine. I mean, it really is a machine that just a mechanical clicking and stuff, just pulling the bolt back and whatnot with tilting a bolt, charging handle with the tilting bolt and everything making noise. It's just awesome. My father actually wound up serving with one for last year of his service, and he called it a machine. Just machine.
It was the machine.
Right, and
machine.
Problem.
Thank you, Chad. I was thinking the same thing.
Of course you were.
A problem with the SKS was it was dead on arrival.
Like the M1A.
Yeah.
Tongue for twisting. He's kind of echoing Andrew's. How many years it's been since you cleaned that one? He says hasn't cleaned his Zastava in 10 years.
I haven't cleaned any of my AKs except for I got 5 or 6 that are worth a shit ton of money. Those are the only ones I ever clean. But I still shoot them. I just clean them afterwards.
Well, you didn't fill up your bathtub with Ballistol?
I don't even own Ballistol. I got Mobile One axle grease and probably some brake cleaner somewhere.
And 50-gallon drum of diesel fuel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then our live audience here, we still got some people live here that are leaving comments. Morgan, today I didn't even have to use my AK. I got to say, it was a good day.
I don't know. I like using my AK.
It's the opposite.
I'm always sad when I don't get to use it.
You're sad when you don't get to?
I know that was from the poet Ice Cube, but
EJ,
I'm
sure he'll be the poet laureate of something one day.
EJ Bogner, somebody's wife going to hear them screaming out women's names. Explain this later. Yeah. That's when I was asking y'all to name your AKs. Rosecki says Lucille. That's stealing from The Walking Dead. Come on, Jacob. The original, son.
Like all these AK guys should be doing like Svetlana and Natalia and Tatiana and Irina.
Ivana. Ivana Humpalat.
Bertha.
Ivana shoot a lot.
On the top. Right?
Now you're getting into James Bond movies. Oh, here's a fact. Here's a fun AK fact. The very first video game to feature an AK was GoldenEye. Useless information.
Oh, by the way, when we were talking about the favorite flicks,
movies,
GoldenEye was a legitimate contender. AKSU scenes.
Yeah, that's a good movie
and
too.
all those AKMs with the 74 compensators that they tried to pass on for 74s.
As I did say, I have an AK, and it is an 11.5 inch, and it has a name. I guess I forgot about that. It's the only gun I have a name for, because it's the Malasuka.
Hey, you bring up a good point, actually. So if we are running SBRs and we're talking ballistics at that point, got to go AK.
Yeah, the Kalashnikov was saying in our conversation, he was saying how he was anti-545. He thought that 7.62 had more potential that was not fully explored. But then he started talking about AKSU, and his eyes light up. I mean, he really liked that gun and was telling me how they were testing the AKSU guns on year-old hogs at 365 meters and putting them down. Like something I remember from the conversation.
Nice.
Let's see. Jerry Black, my AK is my go-to. My ODS can handle the torture and is as accurate as my ARs, if not more. With Seal 1, cleaning is amazingly easy. I don't clean it after every use. It will be ready for action next time I pick it up. True that. Not a lot of questions here, so let's go through. Let's pick our winners now. Let's pick some winners. So let's just start off with a Seal 1, and for the Seal 1, we'll do it from the Instagram comments. And I want you guys, we're just going to do it random. We're going to pick a number between 1 and 30, and let's let Garth pick.
27.
Damn it. You're going to make me count all the way down to 27.
Yes, I am.
It felt like Garth was waiting for that opportunity to do it.
I guess I'll just go to the bottom and then count up 3. How about that? I'll just do that. More than one way to skin a rabbit. Let's see. 1. That would be B. Hurst. Brandon Hurst, which is also on our live. So there you go, Brandon. You have won the Seal 1.
EJ says, I'm going to go get ready to go feed the AK a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then once it gets too hot, a nice glass of milk. And it's still going to
video that. EJ, video that and send it to us. I want to see that shit.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we're going to go to the live listeners here. We're going to do the dump tray, and I want let's do Marco. You pick the dump tray winner.
Very first comment. Remember, we all chuckled about it.
The very first comment is Thomas Teeth. It says, "Sup, peeps."
No.
I think that was the Vince with the AR can be made
for children and by children.
Yep. Yeah. That's it right there.
Just remember the AR.
Okay, so what's his name? Vince
H.
Vince H.
Okay, Vince H.
Yes.
So all of our winners, you email me, talkinglead@gmail.com. Going to need your mailing address, contact info. Put your shirt size in there just in case. You never know what extras they might throw in there. So
I'm a barbecue sexy size, just for reference. Thanks.
And tell me what you won in the email. Don't just say I won, because I'm not going to go back and listen. You tell me what you won, or you're not going to get anything. So
he's mean. Hey, Marty,
Hey.
Marco, Chad, Nick, Garth, and Andrew. I got to go.
Before you go, Paul Markel, student of the gun, make sure you go check his new book out, How to Shoot Better Than a Navy SEAL. You can get this on Amazon. You can go to Student of the Gun and get this. Are there any discount codes for this, Paul?
Nope, there's no discount code for it. Okay. You can get Amazon, or you can get it at shopsotg.com.
Paul, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Paul, nice seeing you again.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
We'll see.
So now we're to the mag giveaways. The Cobra and G.I. Joe U.S. Palm AK mags. I wish we had them here. We just didn't have time to get them printed and shipped.
Is this a good opportunity to point out the fact that AR just left the building?
One AR.
No, I'm still
One AR left the building. One AR down.
One AR down.
He was our ringer in it.
We did tell all of us gone.
Marty, I want to give one set of those mags to this EJ guy because he has been participating on the live the whole time.
Nice.
Love it. EJ.
What about Ton Jones? He had like 3 comments too.
Ton's comments are great.
Ton's gonna get some anyway. So thank you though, Ton, for participating. We appreciate your participation. So EJ Bogner, I think that's tongue for twisting. I think that is the same guy. Yes, sir. Email me, you know the routine. And I think it was you who emailed me that you won something, but you didn't tell me what it was. So you might want to go check that, EJ. But yes, you win the mag. So congratulations. When those are ready, I don't know how long it'll be, but when the next like 3 to 5 weeks, if you don't get them, let me know. All right, so that came from our live listener. So let's go to our Instagram. So pick a number again. It can't be somebody who's already won. Of course, we won't know that until I do it. 7?
Yeah.
All right. I hit the wrong button. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't even know. GRUBNROHT_. Grubnerot. I don't know. If you're not American, you can't win. If you're not in America, I mean, if you're not in America.
Wait, what's that? What's that again? GRU what?
GRUBNROHT. GRUBNROHT_. He's got a truck or something as his. Looks like he's into older cars and stuff. So.
Oh, cool.
Corky Thornburg is his name. Corky, I like that. Corky Thornburg.
Wasn't that the kid in the Facts of Life?
You're welcome, Corky.
Corky.
Or there's another one that's called Corky Sinclair. I don't know if you guys get that reference.
I don't think I get that. So there's our winners. Email me, talkingled@gmail.com. Tell me what you won. And if you're in a state where you can't accept these magazines, 30-round magazines, then sorry, you don't win. We'll get you an alternate prize, and we'll call out another winner for them. But that's it. There you go, everybody. AK versus AR round 3. This was a much more impassioned battle than our last 2 episodes, I got to say. There was a...
For those people that... if those people, any of those people are in states where they can't get those magazines, we're gonna send them a pre-filled ballot in lieu of magazines.
Solid. Yeah, Marty. Usually on this cast, it's just like us basically making fun of each other for 2 hours. So we actually talked about real things this time. It was pretty refreshing. Normally just us insulting each other.
Well, someone lit a fire under Marco's ass, so. Oh yeah, I blame Marco 100%.
100% blame Marco.
I have to apologize. I apologize profusely. I'm not good for this type of things because I get too freaking competitive.
Why, man? It was great conversation. I learned quite a bit about the AK that I didn't care to know before I came onto the show. So
good.
Go back to our past episodes, Garth, and you're going to learn a whole lot more.
Marco's our MVP over here. What are you talking about?
Oh, he is. He's great.
Knocked it out of the park.
He did. He nailed it.
Big thanks to Century Arms. Thank you guys for making this episode possible and going out with a bang with the awesome mags. Mission First Tactical, same thing. Thank you guys. If you didn't win the mags and you want the mags, and I'll post them when they're ready and I get them so you can actually see the finished products, get in touch with me via like Insta message on the grams or email me, talkingled@gmail.com. And when these come in, I'll let you know how we can arrange getting you some of these mags. And they're in sets. They come in sets, so you can't just get an AR, get an AK. You got to get them both. That's how they're going to come. And then everybody on the panel today is going to get a set. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. And go and show Century Arms some love. Chad, the new brand manager there at Century Arms. Chad, tell them about all the things you guys got coming up, the social medias and all that, where they can go.
Yeah, just keep following our social media at Century Arms and Canik USA. Go to the websites too and check them out.
There you go. To the website. There's links to all that on there.
Yeah.
So Garth, you should get your Canics to show Chad.
Okay, give me a second.
Run do that while we're wrapping up here. So big thanks to Mission First Tactical. Go to missionfirsttactical.com. They've got the holsters. They've got the AR mags. They got the AR-10 mags. You can get anything custom printed on the AR mags there that you want. They just do the AK mags for us. You can't get the AK mags there. So They're AR accessories for you AR guys, and they've got AK grips that are awesome. I've switched out just about all my grips to their Mission First Tactical. Here it is right here. I got one. Their grips. Love their grips. So go check them
rubberized? Are they rubberized?
No, they're hard. They're hard. Hard rubber, textured. Use the code LEADHEAD, get 20% off at Mission First Tactical. Seal1.com, Seal1 and done for all your gun cleaning, lubrication, and corrosion, because those AKs get a little corrosion. It's going to protect them from the corrosion as well. The Seal 1 works perfect for those. Use the code LEADHEAD, get 25% off at Seal 1. And we don't have a discount code for Century yet, Chad. Maybe you get one set up for the pro shop there for t-shirts and hats, because you guys have awesome apparel. You got awesome shirts and hats and all kinds of cool stuff when Adam's not there.
We have some great stuff. We just have to work on the shipping of those materials.
Okay. All right.
We're in the midst of opening a new facility, so things are up in the air right now.
Yeah.
A lot of change is happening.
A lot of transitions going on, and all that stuff's being thought out. So we'll get there.
All right. And then for our AK Corner logoed apparel, our Letties, you got a Letty there too, don't you, Andrew?
You know I got my Letty, baby.
Got your AK Corner. You got your regular. That's the old school Letty.
Still good, baby.
Some people are just luckier than others. That's all I'm going to say.
Have you not got one of these yet?
Mark, I haven't,
no. Yeah, I'd like to get one of those.
I thought I seen you. I'll see.
Marty, sounds like you need to be sending some people some swag, buddy.
Christmas is coming up. Factory 47, FAKTORY 47. Use the code LEADHEAD, get 10% off there. And that does it. That's it for this episode, guys. Do you want to show your canics? You want to show off your canics real quick?
I can do that real, man. Look at that. Look at the pair.
Oh,
baby.
And nice.
You bet.
Wait till you see the new one, Garth. Wait till you see the new one.
There's a new one? Oh, no.
You're going to shit your britches, buddy. It's fantastic.
Is it a Magnum PI? Tell me it's Magnum PI.
There's two new
not
ones.
Magnum PI.
Oh, I feel so powerful right now.
You should.
There's two new ones.
Well, there's only one new signature series.
All right. I'm in.
Shot show release?
Yeah.
Can't wait.
There's a shot show reveal as well, yeah.
Baby. Well, we'll be there.
Maybe.
Garth shot the Miami Day this summer and had to buy them both.
Yeah, because
Marco,
what's a pair of guns without one?
Exactly.
That's it. Dude, we're going to sign off. We'll talk this shit after. Marco, thank you all season long for tuning in and helping educate the uneducated here on the Talking Lead podcast. And the thing that we talked about last episode about the ultimate Marco experience is still on the table. We're still trying to iron everything out. I did get several people say they're interested in that, Marco. So if you're interested in the ultimate Marco experience, go back to the previous episode, listen to that, email me your interest. And we got a couple other things that we're working on for next year too. So I want to hear
now
from you.
We got the RPG too.
Now we got an RPG to shoot. That's crazy. The price
I just want to say something I really enjoyed this year. And in particular, I enjoyed this episode, which the first time I've been on as far as AK versus AR, and I appreciate the worthy adversaries, especially Nick with his passion for his favorite rifle, and Marty, that's the genius thing you're doing, providing a platform for all these great people to come in and argue the point that will never be argued to its finality. Just like the infinity thing.
It is infinity.
So, but like I said, treat it as a tool in your toolbox. It doesn't have to be a gun specific, and just don't forget that one of them is a red-headed stepchild.
So, Andre DeLue sums it up perfect, and he said, Andre. He says, excellent lineup. I have had this discussion with Marco, and there's no winning. It's like picking between a gorgeous blonde who owns a liquor store or a gorgeous redhead who owns a gun store. You kind of want both at the same time.
Yep. Say hi to
Andre.
hi to him. I guess I'll see him at the shop.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
And I'll see all the Sentry guys at the shop.
Yeah.
And us.
What?
Anywho, that does it for the season 5 of Talking Lead AK Corner. Make sure you tune in next year for season 6. It's going to be even better, even bigger, and even bolder.
Are we gonna do 45 versus 9mm?
We might. You never know.
Oh man.
What about 40 versus 10?
10 wins every time.
Bye bye, everybody.
See you
Peace.
guys.
End this thing.